A very good evening, aspirants. Welcome to Daily Newspaper Analysis of Shankar IAS Academy. Displayed here are the list of news articles that we are going to discuss today. As you can see, we have chosen news articles from different newspapers. So without much delay, let us get into the first news article discussion. Look at this front page article from Indian Express. Recently, Bangalore police have registered a complaint under Protection of Children Against Sexual Offences Act (POSCO) against ex-CM B.S. Yediyurappa. So in this news article discussion, let us understand certain initiatives against sexual harassment from the exam perspective. So this topic can be asked in society part of GS paper 1 and it can even be asked in GS paper 2 also. So firstly, let us see in brief about the POSCO Act. See, the POSCO Act 2012 came into effect on 14th November 2012. It was enacted in consequence to India's ratification of the UN Convention on the Rights of the Children in 1992. So the main aim of this special law is to address offences of sexual exploitation and sexual abuse of children, and it strives to ensure gender neutrality through its provisions. As per this act, children is defined as any person below the age of 18 years. It can be male or female. While talking about the sexual offences mentioned in the act, it includes different forms of sexual abuse, including penetrative and non-penetrative assault, as well as sexual harassment and pornography. And it deems a sexual assault to be aggravated under certain circumstances, like when the abused child is mentally ill or when the abuse is committed by a person in a position of trust or authority, like a family member, police officer, teacher, or doctor. So in these circumstances, if a sexual assault has been done, then it is a aggravated offence or it is a serious offence under the Act. Remember, at present, the Act stipulates that a case of child sexual abuse must be disposed of within 1 year from the date of the offence is reported. It was amended in 2019 to provide more stringent punishment, including the death penalty for sexual crimes against children. So, to ensure compliance with the POSCO Act, there are 1023 fast-track special courts, including 389 exclusive POSCO court in India. But a study by World Bank and JALDI initiative has found that 43.44% of trials end in acquittals and only 14.3% lead to convictions. So recently, the POSCO Rules 2022 stipulated that the central government and every state government should prepare age-appropriate educational material and curriculum for children. This will inform them about various aspects of personal safety. So these are certain facts that you have to remember about the POSCO Act. Moving on to see about the POSCO Act. See, Sexual Harassment of Women at the Workplace, Prevention, Prohibition and Redressal Act 2013. This act is in short called as the POSCO Act, and it is a law to replace the Vishaga guidelines. See, these guidelines came as an outcome of landmark judgment in the Vishaga and others versus State of Rajasthan 1997. The act places a legal obligation on employers to prevent and prohibit sexual harassment in the workplace. Employers are required to constitute an internal compliance committee (ICC). This ICC has a power of civil court at each workplace with 10 or more employees. The committee is required to complete the inquiry within a time period of 90 days. On completion of the inquiry, the report will be sent to the employer or the district officer, as the case may be, and they are mandated to take action on the report within 16 days. So in this regard, Justice Verma Committee on Sexual Harassment at Workplace have recommended setting up of an employment tribunal instead of an internal compliance committee (ICC) in the POSCO Act. So both the POSCO and the POSCO Act are very important act with respect to preventing sexual harassment. Now let's quickly go through some of other initiatives that are working to prevent sexual harassment. See, the first one is One Stop Center. It is launched by the Ministry of Women and Child Development. See, this One Stop Center scheme provides integrated support and assistance to women affected by violence, including harassment. These centers offer medical aid, police assistance, legal aid, psychosocial counseling, and temporary shelter. Apart from this, there is an initiative known as Mahila Police Volunteers, in short called as MPVs. These MPVs are female volunteers trained to assist women in distress. They work in collaboration with the local police to address issues like domestic violence, harassment, and gender-based crimes. Then the National Commission for Women, NCW, it is a statutory body that works to protect and promote the rights of women in India. It investigates and intervenes in cases of harassment, discrimination and violence against women. Apart from this, there is a portal known as e-Samvat portal. This online portal was launched by the Ministry of Women and Child Development to facilitate the filing of complaints related to harassment, abuse and violence against women. It provides a convenient and confidential way for victims to seek help. Apart from this, there is Women Helpline 181. The government operates this 181 helpline as a national toll-free helpline number. So while you call to 181, they will provide assistance and support if you are facing harassment, abuse or violence. Apart from this, trained counselors also offer guidance and connect callers with relevant services. Finally, the Beti Bachao and Beti Padhao scheme. While this scheme primarily focuses on promotion of girl child and addressing the issue of female foeticide, this scheme also aims to create a conducive environment for the holistic development of girls, which includes protection from harassment and violence. So these are very important facts that you have to remember about sexual harassment and its preventive measures taken by the government. Make note of it and use it in your mains answer. So with these learned points, now let us move on to the next news article discussion. Look at this editorial article. It talks about the water crisis in Bangalore. Karnataka is facing its worst drought in 40 years, which is hitting its capital, Bangalore, hard. See, Bangalore needs about 2,600 to 2,800 million liters of water daily for its nearly 14 million residents, but it is only getting about half of that. More than half of the city's bore wells have dried up, and the water shortage is affecting schools, hospitals, industries, and even the IT hub in the city. So, to tackle the crisis, Bangalore authorities have imposed strict rules to prevent wastage of water and set prices for water tankers supplying residential areas. The state government is planning to use milk tanks from Karnataka Milk Federation to deliver water and take control of private bore wells in and around the city. Experts are worried that the situation might get worse in the coming weeks. So in this context, let us understand various reasons for water scarcity with the help of our mains question discussion. Now look at this question for the day. Why is the world today confronted with the crisis of availability of and access to freshwater resources? See, this question can be asked in GS paper 1 as well as GS paper 3, and it is a very straightforward question. We must explain the reasons for the global water crisis with respect to availability and accessibility. We must provide suitable examples under each subheadings. So this is how we are going to address this particular question. So in the introduction part, you can give a general view about global water crisis. You can write that the global crisis of fresh water availability and access has emerged as one of the most pressing challenges of the 21st century. This crisis is multifaceted, stemming from a combination of environmental, socio-economic and political factors. Despite being a vital resource for life and economic development, freshwater scarcity is increasingly threatening communities worldwide. So understanding the root cause of this crisis is crucial for devising effective strategies to address it. So in this way, you can give an introduction that can link with the body of the answer. Moving on to the body of the answer, here you have to discuss the key reasons behind declining freshwater resources and also about remedial measures. Firstly, population growth and urbanization. Rapid population growth and urbanization have put immense pressure on freshwater resources utilization, leads to increased water demand for domestic, industrial and agricultural purposes. This exhibits scarcity in already stressed areas. Chennai faced a severe water crisis in 2019 due to depleted reservoir and mismanagement. This highlights the consequence of rapid urbanization on water availability. Secondly, climate change. Climate change has disrupted traditional precipitation pattern, and this has led to drought, floods and unpredictable water availability. So rising temperatures accelerate water evaporation, and this is also further depleting surface water sources. then melting of glaciers and reduced snowpack in mountainous regions. This threatened the steady supply of fresh water to downstream areas. The prolonged drought in Cape Town in South Africa brought the city to the brink of day zero. Can mention that example for this particular question. And many lakes are drying up rapidly due to climate change. So you can quote climate change as the second cause. Thirdly, pollution and contamination. See, pollution from industrial, agricultural and urban sources have contaminated freshwater bodies, making them unfit for consumption. Improper waste disposal, chemical runoff and untreated sewage discharge contribute to the degradation of water quality, and it is posing a serious threat to health. So overall, 80% of wastewater is released without treatment. According to UN, the pollution of the Ganges with untreated sewage, industrial waste and agricultural runoff has raised serious health concerns and compromised water quality for millions of people. Fourthly, unsustainable water management practices. See, management of waste resources including over extraction from aquifers and inefficient irrigation techniques leads to depletion and degradation of freshwater sources. Lack of proper regulation and enforcement mechanisms exhibit this issue and leading to perpetuating unsustainable practices. Overexploitation through irrigation, mining and more is causing freshwater depletion and degradation. For example, the Aral Sea, once the world's fourth largest lake, has nearly vanished due to irrigation water diversion. Also, the Lake Kolleru in Andhra Pradesh is one of the largest freshwater lake, but it is rapidly shrinking. Fifthly, conflicts and governance issue. See, dispute over shared water resources exhibit tension between nations, regions and communities. Work governance, corruption and inadequate infrastructure hinder equitable distribution and access to water, particularly in marginalized and vulnerable populations. For example, the dispute over the Nile River between Egypt, Sudan and Ethiopia highlights the geopolitical tension arising from shared water resources, since Ethiopia is constructing the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam on Blue Nile. Lastly, economic factors. See, economic disparities contribute to unequal access to water, with affluent individuals and industries often having preferential access over disadvantaged communities. Market-driven approaches to water management prioritize profit over sustainability, and this is also exacerbating the exploitation and depletion of freshwater resources. The overuse of groundwater for irrigation in Punjab and Haryana has resulted in declining water tables, and it is threatening the long-term sustainability of agriculture in these regions. So you can write all these points for this particular question. You can stop here, or again you can give some way forwards for these issues. And remember, solution must include sustainable water management practices, pollution control measures, climate change adoption strategies and equitable water governance mechanism. So you can add points like these given here, like promoting water saving practices like rainwater harvesting, then adopting water efficient farming methods like precision agriculture and conservation tillage, then using innovative solutions like smart irrigation systems and water efficient applications, then reducing water footprint through minimizing and offsetting of water use. You can mention all these way forwards in the second part of the answer. Now moving on to the conclusion part. Addressing the freshwater crisis demands sustainable management, improved infrastructure, conservation and global collaboration to counter climate change efforts. Innovative solution and effective policies are vital for a reliable and equitable freshwater supply for present and future generation. So this way you can complete the answer for this particular question. So in this news article discussion, we saw in detail about what are the causes for water crisis and how it can be managed. So with these learned points, now let us move on to the next news article discussion. Look at this article from Hindu newspaper. According to the article, the Tamil Nadu government has decided to upgrade a few municipal councils in the state to municipal corporations. This decision has been made following an announcement made by the Ministry of Municipal Administration last year. So the upgrades will be carried out according to the Tamil Nadu Urban Local Bodies Act 1998. So in this news article discussion, let us learn about how municipalities work from the prelims perspective. Firstly, we shall learn about the provisions provisions in the Constitution. See, under Article 243Q of the Indian Constitution, India recognizes 3 types of municipalities. First is Nahar Panchayat, second is Municipal Council, and the third one is Municipal Corporation. Nahar Panchayat serves areas transitioning from rural to urban status with populations ranging between 11,000 and 25,000. Whereas municipal corporations cater to smaller urban areas with population between 25,000 and 1 lakh. So for urban areas, municipal corporations are established which require a population of over 1 lakh. Currently, India has around 100 municipal corporations, 2,100 Nahar Panchayats and 1,500 municipal councils. So we can understand that municipalities in India play a crucial role in urban governance and development. Now let us quickly go through their functions one by one. See, firstly, municipalities take charge of urban planning, regulating land use and overseeing construction projects to ensure organized growth and coherent development. Secondly, they are responsible for ensuring access to clean drinking water, managing its treatment, distribution and overall resource management effectively. Thirdly, they focus on both solid and liquid waste, and the municipalities handle the collection, treatment and disposal process, which are aimed to maintain high standards of urban sanitation. Fourthly, they provide essential sanitation services, focusing on disease prevention and keep public spaces clean, contributing to the overall health and well-being of the community. Fifthly, municipalities manage a range of educational institutions from primary to secondary levels and also promote adult and non-formal education programs to enhance literacy rate. Sixthly, they oversee emergency services, street lights and park maintenance, and they ensure a safe and secure environment for residents. Seventhly, by running housing, poverty alleviation and social welfare initiatives, municipalities address the need of the urban poor and work towards their upliftment. They also invest in the development and maintenance of transport infrastructure, including roads and public transport system, to improve urban mobility. So through these functions, municipalities strive to address the comprehensive needs of urban populations. Thereby, they ensure city and towns are safe, clean and conducive to living and economic activities. So these are very relevant facts that you have to remember about from the prelims perspective about the municipalities. So with these learned points, now let us move on to the next news article discussion. Look at this article from Indian Express. Recently, first phase of the atmospheric research test bed in central government, in short called as ARTCI, has been inaugurated in Silkheda village of Madhya Pradesh. So this initiative is aimed at enhancing understanding of the monsoon system, particularly within the monsoon core zones MCZ, which is crucial for the agricultural sector of the country. So in this news article discussion, let us learn in detail about this ARTCI from an exam perspective. Firstly, let us go through the background of this particular initiative. See, monsoon trough over central India is one of the important component of our regional climate system. It is also known as the monsoon core zone MCZ, where big weather changes like low pressure area and depressions frequently occur during the monsoon season. As you all know, period from June to September is crucial because it accounts for 70% of the country's annual average rainfall and supports the majority of the kharif crop cultivation. So understanding and predicting monsoon pattern in this region is very important for the country's food security and economic stability. Because of this reason only, in-depth weather measurements in the MCZ were required for the long term, and this led to the establishment of an atmospheric research testbed in central India. This ARTCI is established by Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology IITM under Ministry of Earth Science at Silkheda. Now here comes a question. What is this atmospheric research testbed? See, ART is an open field laboratory dedicated to the observation and analysis of atmospheric conditions. It is designed to facilitate ground-based observations of weather parameters like temperature, wind speed and etc. It also observes the transient synoptic systems like low pressure area and depression that forms over the Bay of Bengal during the southwest monsoon season. So what are the main objectives of ART? Firstly, the main objective is to get a deep understanding of how the monsoon works, especially the way it brings rain and interact with the land. To do this, we'll use the latest gadgets and technology to measure weather like temperature, humidity, wind, and more. Secondly, weather detection campaigns. There are special missions where scientists use both observation from the field and computer models to test their ideas on how weather works. This helps in figuring out the secrets of rain pattern, how the land and air talk to each other, and how to improve weather forecast, especially for big storms. Thirdly, ARTCI won't be just a local project. It is going to be a global classroom and laboratory. So scientists from all over the world can join it and use the data and help improve how we understand and predict weather. This place will also be a training ground for upcoming scientists and a spot where important weather data is shared openly following certain rules. So now let us quickly go through the role of ART. See, while the India Meteorological Department provides a specialized rainfall forecast for the MCZ, our grasp of the underlying process, including cloud physics, cloud properties, and their effects on monsoon rainfall, remains limited. We don't know how it happens. Apart from this, climate change is adding a new challenge, and it is manifesting as erratic rainfall patterns that can devastate crops and disturb agricultural schedules. So this ART will bridge these knowledge gaps by facilitating long-term observation on a range of parameters, including cloud microphysics, precipitation patterns, convection process, and land surface interactions. So by assimilating this data into numerical weather models, ART aims to improve rainfall forecast significantly. Apart from this enhanced understanding and prediction of monsoon patterns will be a boon for Indian farmers. Accurate forecast of monsoon means farmers can make informed decisions about when to sow, irrigate, and harvest crops. This will lead to potentially higher yield and reduce risk of crop failures. Beyond agriculture, improved monsoon forecast can benefit water resources management, urban planning, and disaster preparedness. So as a whole, it contributes to overall economy and social well-being. So here you might have a doubt why Silkheda is selected for this particular project. See, this Silkheda village lies directly in the path of major rain-bearing synoptic systems and is relatively free from pollutants. This makes the place ideal for setting up sensitive meteorological instruments and for conducting accurate unhindered atmospheric observations. So these are all very relevant facts that you have to remember about ARTCI. There might be a prelims question or a mains question, so make note of it. With these learned points, now let us move on to the next news article discussion. Look at this news article. According to the news article, the Competition Commission of India (CCI) has launched an investigation into Google's Play Store billing policy. This move comes after concerns were raised by Indian companies about the unfair service fee imposed on app developers. So the CCI has instructed the Director General to lead the investigation and provide a report within 16 days. This is about the news article given here. So in this context, let us learn about Competition Commission of India in this news article discussion. See, CCI is a statutory body because it is established under the Competition Act 2002. Its main aim is to ensure fair competition in the market and protect the interest of consumers. So basically, it is a quasi-judicial body that gives opinion to statutory authority. Talking about its composition, it consists of one chairperson and 6 members. The members are appointed by the central government. The chairperson and other members are whole-time members. Talking about the eligibility of the members of CCI, the chairman and every other member should be a person of ability and integrity. They should have special knowledge and professional experience of not less than 15 years in various matters, which in the opinion of central government may be useful to the commission. Talking about the functions and roles of CCI, see, its main objective is to eliminate practices that have adverse effects on competition. The commission also works towards protecting the interest of consumers. It also provides an opinion on competition issues on a reference received from a statutory authority. Additionally, it undertakes competition advocacy, creates public awareness, and imparts training on competition issues. Then its main focus is on consumer welfare and making the market work for the benefit and welfare of consumers. Now let us see who will hear the appeals against the order of CCI? See, in accordance with the provisions of the Competition Act 2002, the Competition Appellate Tribunal was established to hear the appeals against CCI. But the government repealed the Competition Appellate Tribunal Compact with the National Company Law Appellate Tribunal NCLAT in 2017. So since 2017, appeals against the decision of CCI can be filed only in the NCLAT. These are certain facts that you have to remember about CCI from the prelims perspective. So with these learned points, now let us move on to the next part of the news article discussion, which is the preliminary practice question discussion. Look at this first question about urban local bodies. 3 statements are given and you have to find how many statements given here is or are correct. See here, the first statement says, according to Article 243Q of the Indian Constitution, urban local bodies are classified based on the land area of the cities. See, this statement is incorrect because according to Article 243Q, urban local bodies are classified into Nagar Panchayats, municipal councils and municipal corporation based on the population size, not the land area. Now, the second statement says the first municipal corporation in India was established under the British Raj. This statement is correct. Third statement says Bombay Municipal Council, established in 1688, is the oldest municipal corporation in India. See, this statement is incorrect. Madras is the oldest municipal corporation in India. So the correct answer for this particular question is option A, one only, because second statement is alone correct here. Moving on, look at this question about art CI. First statement says it was established by the Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology under the Ministry of Earth Science. This statement is correct. Secondly, it is located in Silkeda due to its high pollution levels. This statement is incorrect. It is located in Silkeda due to its strategic position in the monsoon core zone, first thing, and it has minimal pollution level, making it ideal for meteorological research. So the second statement is incorrect. Here the question asks you to find only the incorrect statement. So the correct answer for this question is option B, 2 only. Moving on, look at this question about CCI. 3 statements are given and you have to find how many statements given above is or are correct. See, all the statements given here is correct. The Competition Act 2002 replaced the erstwhile Monopolies and Restrictive Trade Practices Act 1969, that is the MRTP Act. The Act aims to curb anti-competition agreements and abuse of domestic position. The provision of the Act is implemented by the Competition Commission of India. So here the correct answer for this question is option C, all 3. So displayed here is the mains practice question for you today. Just go through the question, try to answer it in the comment section. With this, we came to the end of the news article discussion. If you like the video, hit like, do comment, and don't forget to subscribe to Shankar IAS Academy YouTube channel. Now, thank you so much for listening.